Hey everybody, welcome to Professor DiMaggio's Gaming. We're going to be taking another look at Rashid here in terms of optimization strategies for ranked matches. You'll see a lot of stuff on my YouTube page, and sometimes it'd probably be maybe hard for people to tell how much of the stuff I'm doing in terms of strategies and combos is like swag or for styling on people or for show, and how much of it could actually be useful in optimized matches. Well, that's the point of this series. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go through some tips for how to play Rashid in a safe way when you're trying to play neutral, which is absolutely essential for ranked matches, especially post-master when you're trying to climb MR rank. How to do effective footsies, and addressing the stubby normal problem that Rashid has between crouching medium punch and crouching medium kick. And specifically in terms of how to play safe neutral and footsies, how can you play effective neutral while taking advantage of whiff punish? And how can you do it in a way where you can, get effective corner carry? So that's actually really important. Rashid's got good corner carry, but how do you get to it? And all of this within the context of what you do post-patch for Season 3 balance patch, because Rashid has seen some pretty important changes. So first, the stubby normals problem. The problem that Rashid runs into is when you play against a lot of the better players in the cast, you've got stuff like this, like his crouching medium kick is just not very good when it comes to range and connecting. And so you got a character like Ken, it's same distance, right? Like he can connect on his crouching medium kick because it's really, really good for that normal button, but Rashid can't. And so, that means he can connect and do a combo, right, for drive rush cancel, because we know that this is really like the big part of this game. The meta is crouching medium kick into drive rush. Why? Because oftentimes if people are going to be moving, it would be easier to catch them with a low because they're moving, right? And so if you can catch people with a low and you can do the drive rush cancel, you can take them into corner carry. So, Rashid has this problem. If you look at with Ryu, for example, too, another really good character, he can't touch Ryu with his crouching medium kick because it's stubby. But for that same move, Ryu can connect. So, Rashid can't connect, right? And you can do combos and all types of other stuff, whether it's just sort of zoning, like, crouching medium kick into fireball or some drive rush cancel. We see similar thing with Cammy. Rashid can't touch. Cammy can. And can do it into drive rush cancel. Same thing with them Bison. Really, a lot of the good characters and top tier characters in the game, they all have in common that they can do this. They can not only do crouching medium kick, drive rush cancel, but they can do it into some sort of decent combo with corner carry. So the question is, why play that game if you can't compete with these better players? Because what's going to happen is they're not going to wait for you to get close enough for you to hit with the crouching medium kick, drive rush cancel. They're just going to do it to you first. So, people are looking for it, people are looking to do it. And if it's not really a viable strategy, surely there might be other ways that you could try to get corner carry. So I'm not saying to not ever do the drive rush, crouching medium kick, drive rush, but I think there's certain scenarios where it works better than others. And there are other strategies that you can use that are, in my opinion, probably a bit more effective in terms of corner carry. So one is the whiff punish, right? As you can see here, and Rashid got a buff on his whiff punish recently, so that's actually important to point out. This is a really strong button, his standing heavy kick, because you can be a lot further away. You can be a lot further away here and catch that. And because of his buff, where you can now go into things like forward medium punch, you can do more than you could before. Before it was just heavy kick into heavy mixer, and that's about it. And now you've just got a lot more freedom of exploration with the character where you can do all types of stuff out of the forward medium punch. So that's important to point out. You've got that, and again, you look at it, there's a tremendous amount of distance here, much further away than if you're trying to connect on a crouching medium kick. And it's just a matter of what your whiff punish skills look like, because to be able to capitalize on this kind of distance, that's a lot safer than doing a crouching medium kick where they are within range to hit you, but you're not within range to hit them. That is sort of a loser's game in the sense that you are systematically disadvantaged in those situations compared to these better top-tier characters. Okay, so here's the trick with the whiff punish. I think for a lot of people, they wonder if they're not good at it in neutral. How do you actually connect on this? Because it seems like it's really hard to do. Well, it is if you're looking to recognize play from a competitor, and you're looking to recognize that the button they're pressing is a button that's safe for you in terms of trying to whiff punish it. If you do that, if you're waiting to recognize what the person is doing, you will have waited too long. It's just not that big of a window for you to be able to sort of recognize what you're doing and effectively punish it, or recognize what they're doing. So what'll happen is you're going to see me here. I'm actually very explicitly and consciously waiting in these clips that we're going to see right here to make sure, well, what kind of button is it going to be? So I'm waiting to like recognize what the button is, and then I'm reacting. And what's going to end up happening is that you may end up hitting them, but you're not going to, or you may end up whiffing, but you're not going to whiff punish, right? You may not do anything at all, or if you react, you're going to react too slow, right? So what you want to do, as you saw with that last one, the trick is actually something very different. You want to get yourself at right about the right distance, which is right about, here, back and forth. You're just sort of outside of the range. You're just sort of outside of the range right here as you go back and forth. You're just outside of that range of crouching medium kick where they're going to be able to touch you. But you're close enough with Rashid's semi-God button. It's not cancelable, the standing heavy kick, so it's not a God button, but it's semi-God button. You're just close enough where if you react fast, you can hit them with the whiff punish. So the thing is, like, you're already at the distance you need to be at to be safe from any of Ryu's attacks or other characters who are an average character, like, in terms of the size of the character. So you're just far enough away already that you're safe from any of the normals that he may press. And so what you can do is you can actually commit this to muscle memory now, and it becomes reflexive. It's like, there's something that's going on in your mental stack, but it's on a subconscious level. So you want to practice it that much that anytime you got to be at the right distance, right? Again, you got to be just outside of that normal neutral distance, and you commit it to your muscle memory. It's subconscious. And the second you see any movement, you just sort of, the muscle memory takes over. And what will happen is if you do this enough and you practice it enough, you'll just do it without even thinking. And that's how you know that you figured out how to whiff punish. You have to sort of commit it to that muscle memory, but you have to be at the right distance to do it, as you can see there. You stay outside of that distance, and then when the second you see the movement, you whiff punish. Now, there are other ways to try to get corner carry. You may notice if you're playing somebody that they don't want to play neutral. They're not going to be at this distance with you. They want to go YOLO. They want to skip neutral. There's nothing you can do to make people play neutral. So certainly you have other options for corner carry. Or if you feel like someone wants to play neutral and they're just not going to push a button, and they're just waiting for you to push a button, that can be really obnoxious because this sort of play style doesn't really work if the person's not really ever willing to push a button until you do. So you both just sort of sit there and walk back and forth and nothing ever happens. You may get bored of doing that. So he has other options. Like one option is drive rush crouching light kick. As you know, I like to do this, and it's really good for corner carry because it's so fast. Another really good option involving crouching medium kick that I like to use. This one is not quite as ideal as the drive rush crouching light kick, I think, or the whiff punish, because it's expensive. But one virtue of this approach that I'm going to show you right here is it does auto space Rashid to get that crouching medium kick, and it is unreactable in the sense that this whole thing is a block string, but it costs a lot. It's the drive rush medium punch and to immediate crouching medium kick. So if you connect on the medium punch, great. You could just go straight into the medium kick anyways, the crouching. And if they block the standing medium punch on drive rush, you can go immediately into the crouching medium kick and hopefully catch them, and then drive rush cancel that into your corner carry, as you can see. Let's see that one more time. It's a very safe way to try and get your corner carry. It does cost 4 bars, which is why it's not usually my first choice when I'm playing matches, including ranked matches, but it is one thing I will cycle through later in matches. So, yeah, drive rush medium punch, crouching medium kick, corner carry. Okay, back to the whiff punish. What can you do with this? Again, you've got the standing heavy kick into forward medium punch. What can you do after this? You'll notice how high Ryu is, or anyone else you hit with the crouching, or with the forward medium punch after the heavy kick whiff punish. So what can you do with this? Well, you can do a couple things. One thing that I've been talking about in my videos recently is that you could go directly into a drive rush crouching light kick and you're going to catch this meaty. It's airtight, this one. So this one I can't recommend enough. I think it's good because it's a low. That's the good part, and because it's so damn fast. And from the crouching light kick, you can go into target combo, which is medium punch heavy kick, into all types of other corner carry. So what's really good about this one is it only costs 1 bar to get you to the corner. Is there any weakness to it? Maybe, you know, they can see the drive rush coming in advance, so they're going to guess high or low, right? So you've got a pretty good chance, I think more than 50-50, that you're going to land it, because typically people like to block low on wake up when they get knocked down, but they seem to be less likely to block low if you just get sort of knocked back like this. So I think you've got a much better than 50-50 chance of landing this, but you know, if they see the drive rush, they might, depending on the player, they might gravitate toward blocking low, in which case you're not going to connect. Or if they see the drive rush coming, they might parry it, which means whether they parry high or low, you're not going to connect. So is there another way you could sort of do this that would be in some ways advantageous? Yeah, I think so. I think an alternative approach would be to do the whiff punish for the HK and then go into the forward medium punch. And then what also is going to land meaty, but you got to manually time this. And it's not hard to manually time because you just wait for them to land. And pretty much, you know, that's going to be pretty easy to do because you just see them landing. So what you can do is you can do the crouching medium here because you're auto-spaced, even though you've got to sort of manually time this. And then you can do the crouching medium kick into drive rush cancel. What's better about that and what's worse about it? What's worse about it is you've got to spend 3 bars to get the corner carry. What's better about it is that the player won't see till the last minute that you're pushing the crouching medium kick, which is a fairly decent speed button. And so they're not going to see the drive rush because you're not doing the drive rush till after the crouching medium kick. You're canceling into it. So in that sense, you know, this might be seen as a little more advantageous, not because it costs less, it costs more, but because it's harder to sort of see coming. So either one of these is really good, but I think, you know, what this video is really trying to do is show people how to, with a couple of safe options, how to exploit that heavy kick whiff punish, and how to do that in a way where the actual cost to you is somewhere between at most average in terms of bar to actually well below average with the drive rush crouching light kick. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm going to be doing more of these optimizing Rashid for ranked matches videos in the near future. If this video was helpful, please feel free to give it a like if you want. If you're not subscribed and you would like to, feel free to subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thanks. And I will catch you on the next one. Have a good one.